out the weak part of the grip. So if he grabs, we'll say same side, so right side to my left. So we can pull this hand towards the weak part of the grip. You can use one hand, you can use two hands, you can use your body weight, all that stuff. But you can also use like your elbows, and you can also kind of push and pull. So one that I like to do sometimes is if that grip is too hard, you know, you can just think about pulling that fist, but using your elbow like you're trying to come across his arm this way. So I can think about bringing my arm up. I can think about lifting it straight up, like I'm trying to elbow underneath his back of his hand. I can come across with my elbow this way, and then the other one I like to do is I like to pull my hand. Instead of using my hand, I like to pull my hand but hit his hand down. So instead of giving his room to come with me, I'm kind of stopping his hand from being able to move. So I always kind of flex it a little bit so it starts to stretch it out, and then I'm just pushing and pulling, you know, as I slip that hand out, and then you can go into all your other
Imagine doing it when you do the first. Yeah, all the way down. Look at the nice trap. Now, look, everything you have to. Yeah, you do that so nice with that beautiful Zutemi pivot. Plus, you bitch slapped him a good one.
Always.
Always.
I like to do those are off of wrist grabs, but they can also be off of like lapel grabs and shoulder grabs. It's just using sometimes like the hand doesn't seem strong enough, but those elbows are. So like if he puts a hand on my shoulder, put his left on my shoulder, instead of me just trying to knock it off with this or come around here, if I bring my elbow down like I'm trying to slide down towards his wrist, it kind of gives me a little bit more strength. I'm not as outstretched. You know, I can kind of keep it a little bit tighter. I could still hit him here, and then I could pull it down, and his head comes right down into all your other strikes.
Now, if everybody pays attention as Shion Duda does that, watch his left hand in reciprocal movement when he's using the elbow. Watch it come back. Now, look how he's all set. He's all set to punch him and knock his face right, bring his face right into the punch.
Yes, sir.
It's so beautiful.
Okay.
That's why karate, when you're standing in line doing that, if you put it into your self-defense, most people don't. They just stand there and hit air and they don't even think what they're doing. It all comes together in things like that.
But also being aware of what is going to come next, because you're not just going to hold my hand and we're just going to sit here and talk. You know, so I either want to stop him from being able to pull me, I want to be able to stop him from being able to punch me. We all know that if he wanted to punch us, he should have just punched us first. The other good thing that we know is that he's tying up one of his
weapons. Past that game.
Yes, sir. Okay, so if you break it down and you think about the steps, you know, the main goal is I want to get out of here. And I talked about this, maybe it was last week, either in the karate or the Aiki Jutsu class, I can't remember. But the goal of Aiki Jutsu and our system is not to show how many locks we know, how many takedowns we know. It's to escape and
neutralize
and go. So the main thing you should always think of first is how do I get out of here? Okay, not how can I get a fancy lock on. You know, because that's later on. As you get higher in rank, you can play around with everything you want. But everybody should have that initial kick him in the groin, fingers in the eyes, and get out of there, or break that grip and get out of there. So just think about using those elbows a little bit. You can do it off of cross grabs and things, but try it off the shoulder grab and off the same side grab. So if he grabs, and you can slap him all you want, you can soften him up. But think about lifting your elbow up. So what I'm doing is I think about pulling the hand up towards your shoulder, and it's more about hitting that hand with that elbow. You can create that space, or you can grab the hand if it's there. You can also think about turning it over like I'm trying to hit across this way, which sets you really nice up for your other arm locks and takedowns. And then the shoulder, same thing. Again, I can smack him if I want. Think about bringing the elbow straight down and back towards his thumb, or you can also come across, but instead of coming this way with it, think about bringing it down like over the top this way, and instead of pushing it across, I'm going to slide it down here. So it's the same way, just either this way and back, or this way and down. You know, instead of just trying to knock it across like an inward block or out like an outward block. So it's a little bit more scooping inward.
Now, here's Shion, everything you're doing beautiful. Now, remember, I'm a simplicity freak. Literally, I am. You grab his hand, the way you're grabbing his hand. All I'm going to do is I'm going to point to that. I'm not doing nothing else. Tight. Now I'm not going to move. Do it again. I'm not going to do anything. All I'm going to do is this. Bam. Don't do this. All you have to do is point and use your body weight. He has nothing to hold on to, really. And if he wants to pull back, just drive that foot right through him and put him in the parking lot.